Good morning, teachers, members of the clergy, old boys, young men of DBS. We're gathered in this historic hall again today, a hall which multitude of great men have stood as young men, and where 9 headmasters whose legacies have transformed this school peer down on our new generation of boys. The weight of our heritage, the strength of our spirit, calls for us to rise to tomorrow's challenges with a deep sense of where we come from. After years of unprecedented attainment, I speak without doubt that for Diocesan Boys School, the best is yet to come. I must begin with thanking all the chairmen, captains, and mentors who have worked so hard in the past year to create the countless miracles we have seen. Our achievements have always been clearest in face of adversity. From the athletes who battled for 3 full days to regain the championship by 2.5 points, to the choir members who never gave up until they retained our title. From the robotics team who eventually traveled to Romania and competed against the best in the world, to our boys who worked day and night to create our first self-written musical. From the unparalleled overall achievement of our IB boys to the significant improvement in every subject of our NSS boys. From the prefects who had the cheers and made banners with their own hands to the athletes who poured their hearts into the competition arena. This is a school infused with creativity, perseverance, and dogged determination. We should not fall into the trap of thinking that our spirit only exists in the world of extracurricular activities. In the academic arena, it often seems as if we are all alone. We compare with each other through rankings. We compete to get into universities. We compete to get the best jobs. As it appears, after graduation, we are left alone in a society where everything is on our own shoulders. This often seems to be a real predicament that we are in, but it is not. Even the support systems you have built here, with your mentors, with your brothers, with this family, last for a lifetime. Maybe you would think that this is a romanticized, exaggerated version of the truth. But how else could you explain all the old boys who have come back and become part of our staff? How else could you explain the hundreds of alumni who came for reunions over the summer across North America, from San Francisco to Vancouver to Toronto? How else could you explain the presence and support of an old boy who graduated in the year 1939, an old, spirited 90-year-old man driving himself to one of our reunions to see his old schoolmates again? How else could you explain the establishment of the Old Boys professional chapters, not the least of which the medical chapter, formed by over 130 medical practitioners returning to support each other and DBS? How do you explain the establishment of the alumni choir, formed by old boys from 1950s straight up to the 2000s, representing 6 decades of DBS boys? Our alumni keeps coming back to this home, keeps revisiting old friends, because to them, this is a family they never left. So today is the beginning of a school year, but also for all the grade 7s here, it is the beginning of a lifelong journey. You will struggle, you will fall, and sometimes you will feel that you are helpless and a victim of luck. But this brotherhood will stand by you with the same core belief that in perspective of diocesans, nothing is out of reach. The inevitable question then is, what should we begin to do? How do we prepare for another year? I believe there are 2 crucial components. The first is to plan your time well. The last 10 hours before a task, sometimes the last 10 minutes, seem to be the best moments where we do well, but that's not good enough. By structuring your day in an organized manner, you unlock a lot of time that you could spend doing both the things that you love and the things that you do not. The reason why our achievements have been so prolific in so many fields is because the best of our boys have always used their time well. They have understood that by unleashing the full potential of every single day, they can do much, much more. Do not defer this skill any longer. The second is even more important. Understand how you learn. Revision is never about cramming all the information in a bundle. It's about figuring out how you grasp and internalize new concepts. Do you visualize and understand through connecting different points? Do you understand them through logical steps? Do you work better in solitude or in a collaborative setting? All these questions will help you tackle the task on your palette. Look into yourself. Ask these important questions because you will need them for the majority of your school life. The more you understand yourself, the more you absorb, and no matter what you are best at, becoming knowledgeable and insightful is something that elevates you and liberates you. Above all, don't be afraid if you fall behind. This is not a school that punishes those who fail. This is a school that asks you to never fail to try. In the past year, we saw over 40 students between G7 to G9 jump more than 100 places in their subject rankings. That's not because they suddenly became smarter overnight. It's because they never gave up. If you find yourself failing to keep up with your peers, don't drop out of the challenge. Keep going, because here, there is no barrier to your achievements aside from those you imposed upon yourself. For those of you who will be leaders in this school, take heed. Challenges will come at you at any time and in any form. Winning might seem to be a priority to you, but it is in no way the only priority. In this day and age, these challenges could come in the form of any issue jumping out at you from any corner of life. As I reflect about the past year, we have had to face these challenges head-on from day one. But even in your moments of solitude, never doubt that this school, through the rigor of intellectual challenge, through the incessant pursuit of truth, and through the mutual sharpening in the diocesan fraternity, has equipped and entrusted you to persevere and overcome these challenges. Trust your instinct and judgment, and know that you never have to fight any battle alone. When you enter school, you are assigned one of 6 classes, D, S, P, M, J, or T. These are initials of biblical figures who have been called by God at a young age: David, Samuel, Peter, Moses, Joshua, and Timothy. This morning, I want to talk to you about one of these figures, Timothy. There are 3 things that stood out about him that we should all emulate. 1, he had a wonderful relationship with his mentor, Paul the Apostle. Together, they were able to accomplish much more than they could alone. Paul relied on Timothy to fulfill the important tasks and pass the torch to future generations. Like Timothy, you should seek out a mentor, whether this mentor be a teacher or someone senior or more experienced than you. This will lead you to growth in ways you never anticipated. Number 2, Timothy had to shoulder an important commission to prevent heresy from corrupting the people. Heresy are malicious rumors and lies. Like Timothy, we must not allow heresy to dominate our community and our society. It is ironic that in this age of advanced technology and access to information, truth has never been more elusive. We, as sons of diocesan, have an obligation to engage in civilized discourse for not just our own enlightenment, but also for the betterment of the society and our nation. Number 3, Paul gave Timothy instructions for establishing elders and deacons in the church. Through Timothy, this system of leadership was perpetuated to this very day. Like Timothy, you, as leaders of the school, as stewards of the flame, have an obligation to pass on your very best systems and insights onto our future generations so that they will continue to thrive. As we approach the eve of our 145th anniversary and our attainments reach full throttle in every area imaginable, one question remains: how high can we still soar? Boys, let us strive for another year of excellence. Let us meet the unknown with our unquestionable fortitude. Let us ensure that though destiny may be at work, the key to our future must surely be our own. With God as our unshakable foundation and our spirit as our wings, let us rise together and challenge the constellations. May God bless you all, and may God bless the Diocesan Boys' School. Thank you.